The Niners training camp is nearly upon us, and each training camp and preseason, we often see stars emerge seemingly out of nowhere. A player that did this last year was Brock Purdy. Before training camp and the preseason, many people plainly thought Brock Purdy had no shot at making the team. Nate Sudfeld just got a pretty decent sized contract to be Trey Lance's backup. But here's the thing. Brock Purdy made it impossible for the Niners to get rid of him, and therefore they had to bring him in over Sudfeld. And in this video, I want to talk about another player the Niners drafted with their last pick in this year's draft, Brayden Willis. He's a tight end, and I think he might be the Brock Purdy type player of this draft. But before we jump right into Brayden Willis and the type of impact he may have for the Niners, we need to talk about why the Niners felt the need to bring in two tight ends this offseason. They didn't just bring in Brayden Willis, but they also brought in Cameron Latu. And a big reason for this is because Brock Purdy was injured on a play where the backup tight end was tasked with blocking Hassan Reddick. And while you may say that's a horrible play, at the end of the day, the block didn't hold up enough, and that's what led to Brock Purdy's injury. And you'll often see it on the film of Brayden Willis just driving a guy down the field. But let's get into some of his measurables so we can understand what Brayden Willis actually has to offer physically. He comes in at 6'3.5", weighing 241 pounds. His arm length is 33 inches about. In comparison, the tight end selected earlier in that draft, Cameron Latu, came in at 6'4", 242 pounds. But the area in which I think Willis differentiates himself from Latu is his strength. And we can look no farther than the bench press, where Latu only put it up 14 times, and in comparison, Willis was able to put it up a total of 20 times, demonstrating his strength. Speaking about Brayden Willis' strengths, we also need to talk about his yak ability. This guy is aggressive when he gets the ball in his hands. He runs like George Kittle or another Niners wide receiver. It seems like the Niners just know what they're looking for when it comes to playmakers. And I think Willis will be a playmaker at the next level. But then there's the question of why he actually slid as far as he did. Well, frankly, he's not as athletic as other tight ends. He also has a catch radius that was just average. And according to some scouts, they questioned his aggression on run-fitting blocks. So while countless teams chose to pass on Willis, the Niners didn't. They selected him much like they selected Brock Purdy. And much like Brock Purdy, despite Willis not being maybe the most physically gifted or highest profile guy, he has the same type of work ethic. This might be best highlighted by his coach, Coach Feenley, when he said this. He wore out our jugs machine. I think he caught 10,000 balls the last 2 summers that he was here. And that's a lot of balls to catch over the summer, in addition to all of those things we ask the guys to do. Go to class, their workouts, 7-on-7, routes in air, all that good stuff. He actually caught 10,000 per summer, which is unbelievable. So while this was a short video, I thought it was a good opportunity to give my dark horse breakout candidate, who's Brayden Willis this year. I'd love to hear your breakout candidate down below. It would also mean a ton if you liked and subscribed. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.